ආයිබෝවන් සුබ දවසක් වේවා ඔබ හැමතෙම. අරලියගා මන්දිරයේ සිට අප සූදානම් වන්නේ ඉන්දියා රජයේ මැදිහත් වීමෙන් ඉන්දියා අග්‍රාමාත්‍ය නරේන්ද්‍ර මෝදි මැතිතුමාගේ ප්‍රධානත්වයෙන් අපට ලබා දුන් යාපනයේ සංස්කෘතික මධ්‍යස්ථානයේ ජනගත කිරීමේ අවස්ථාවටයි. ඉදා අපට මතකයි ශ්‍රී ලංකා ප්‍රජාතාන්ත්‍රික සමාජවාදී ජනරජයේ පස්වන විධායක ජනාධිපතිතුමා වත්මන් අග්‍රාමාත්‍යතුමා උතුරු වසන්තයේ වැඩපිළිවෙල ආරම්භ කරමින් උතුරේ දැවැන්ත සංවර්ධනයක් ක්‍රියාත්මක කළා. 2014 වසරේ ඉන්දිය රජ සමග එවක අතිගරු ජනාධිපතිතුමන් වත්මන් අග්‍රාමාත්‍යතුමන් යාපනයේ ප්‍රදේශයේ සංස්කෘතික මධ්‍යස්ථානයක් ඉදිකිරීම සඳහා ගිවිසුමකට අත්සන් තැබුවා. 2014 වසරේ ඉඳලා යම් යම් ප්‍රමාදීම් නිසා මේ කටයුත්ත ਸਰව සම්පූර්ණ කරගන්න බැරි වුණත් අද නවතත් වත්මන් රජය යටතේ යාපනයේ එම සංස්කෘතික මධ්‍යස්ථාන ඉදි කරමින් ජනගත කිරීමේ අවස්ථාවයි දැන් අප අරලියගහ මන්දිරයේ සිට සජීවීව ඔබට ගෙනෙන්නේ. මේ අවස්ථාවට ශ්‍රී ලංකා ප්‍රජාතාන්ත්‍රික සමාජවාදී ජනරජයේ ගරු අග්‍රාමාත්‍ය මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ මැතිතුමාත් ඉන්දිය රජය නියෝජනය කරමින් ඉන්දිය විදේශ කටයුතු අමාත්‍ය ආචාර්ය එස් ජයශංකර මැතිතුමා ප්‍රමුඛ සම්භාවනීය අමුත්තන් රාශියක් සහභාගී වෙනවා. ඉතින් දිරටේ මිත්‍රත්වයේ තහවුරු කරමින් අද යාපනයේ දිවන මේ සංස්කෘතික කේන්ද්‍රස්ථානය සංස්කෘතික මධ්‍යස්ථානය ජනගත කරන්නට අප සූදානම් වන්නේ. ජේ යෝගරාජන් සූදානම් ඔබ හා කතා කරන්නට.
Well, thank you, TDK, and Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. We are here to witness the signing of MOU documents between Sri Lanka and India, and also a soft launch of Jaffna Cultural Centre from Temple Trees. Right. So, on behalf of Prime Minister of the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka, His Excellency Mahinda Rajapaksa, I warmly welcome Honorable External Affairs Minister of Republic of India, Dr. Subramaniam Jaishankar, High Commissioner of India, Gopal Magle, and the entire Indian delegation to this special ceremony, which truly attest to the breadth as well as the depth of India-Sri Lanka bilateral ties. I also welcome Honorable Minister G.L. Piris, Honorable Minister Douglas Devananda, State Minister Jeevan Thundaman, and also the Governor of Northern Province, Jeevan Tyagaraja, Chairman of the Northern Provincial Council, Mr. C.V.K. Sivanyanam, Mayor of Jaffna, Mr. V. Manivannan, other dignitaries and friends who have joined this event virtually from Jaffna. People-centric development partnership has been the hallmark of India-Sri Lanka ties, guided by the neighborhood first policy. Government of India is committed to more than $5 billion for making a meaningful impact to the lives of people of Sri Lanka according to their demands and priorities of the government of Sri Lanka. India has touched upon the daily lives of the people of Sri Lanka in multiple ways. Infrastructure, housing, education, health, humanitarian assistance, and disaster management are some of the areas which are covered under India's multi-dimensional development cooperation partnership with Sri Lanka. Geographically, projects implemented with India's assistance are spread across 25 districts of Sri Lanka. Buddhism is considered to the greatest gift by India to Sri Lanka. To strengthen the centuries-old linkages between India and Sri Lanka in the sphere of Buddhism, His Excellency Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced a grant of $15 million during the virtual bilateral summit with His Excellency Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa in September 2020. The grant will assist in deepening bilateral ties in Buddhism through construction, renovation of Buddhist monasteries, capacity development, cultural exchanges, archaeological cooperation, and reciprocal exposition of the Buddha's relics, among others. Memorandum of Understanding between the governments of India and Sri Lanka regarding implementation of Indian grant assistance for promotion of Buddhist ties shall now be signed by High Commissioner Gopal Bagle on behalf of Government of India and Secretary, Ministry of Buddha Sasana, Religious and Cultural Affairs, Dr. Kapila Gunawardena, on behalf of Government of Sri Lanka, in the gracious presence of His Excellency Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa and Honorable Indian External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar. It is an honor for me to note that this memorable occasion coincides with the celebration of 75 years of independence by both India and Sri Lanka. May I request the signatories to kindly step forward and occupy their seats for signing the bilateral memorandum of understanding in the presence of two dignitaries. The signing ceremony will take place now. May I request the signatories to remain seated. High Commissioner Gopal Bakle and Secretary Professor Kapila Gunawardena shall now exchange diplomatic notes to, formalize the amendment Article 9 of Memorandum of Understanding between the governments regarding Jaffna Cultural Centre. Right. I request the representatives of the government of India and Sri Lanka to exchange. We have moved on to the second item of the agenda. Of India and Sri Lanka to exchange the diplomatic notes and documents. High Commissioner and Secretary may return to, and we remain seated. Ladies and gentlemen, Jaffna Cultural Centre is a glowing example of India-Sri Lanka development partnership, and today marks the realization of the dream, and it was conceived as a reconciliation project primarily aimed at expanding cultural infrastructure. And the cultural infrastructure for the people of Northern Province during Prime Minister His Excellency Mahinda Rajapaksa. Foundation stone for this iconic project was laid by His Excellency Prime Minister Narendra Modi during his visit to Sri Lanka in June 2015. And this is one of its kind facility in Northern Province. And some of its striking elements include a museum of 2 floors, a state-of-art theater-style auditorium for more than 600 people, a 11-storied learning tower with a multimedia library and online research facilities, exhibition and gallery space, studio, public cafeteria, etc. A public square which could also act as an theater or amplified theater and a floating stage in the adjoining water body for open-air performances. We shall now watch a video clip which captures the story Jaffna Cultural Centre. Right, so ladies and gentlemen, the auspicious moment has come now. Virtual opening of the Cultural Centre. His Excellency Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa and Honorable External Affairs Minister of Republic of India, Dr. S. Jaishankar, shall now unveil a digital plaque to mark the opening of Jaffna Cultural Centre. May I request the dignitaries to jointly press the button to unveil the plaque. சமர் பலகையை நிராவரணிக்கிற அவஸ்தாவுமே இந்த நினைவு பலகை இப்பொழுது பிரதம மந்திரி மஹிந்த ராஜபக்ச அவர்கள் மற்றும் இந்திய வெளியுறவு அமைச்சர் கலாநிதி எஸ் ஜெய்சங்கர் அவர்களினால் திறந்து வைக்கப்பட்டது அல்லது திரை நீக்கம் செய்யப்பட்டது. It is in the traditions of India and Sri Lanka to mark new beginnings with prayers. The inaugural performance at the Jaffna Cultural Centre is also a prayer, known as Vinayagar Stuti, where in Bharatanatyam, a tradition paying respect to the Lord Ganesha is a tradition. A Ganesha in Sinhala we call it Ganadevya. Right. So a prayer for shared prosperity, happiness and well-being. And this is dedicated to the people of India and Sri Lanka and their eternal friendship. Let us all enjoy this performance. The performance will be done on stage by the students of Ramanathan Academy of Fine Arts, University of Jaffna.
சந்தம் கொட்டி சிந்தையள்ளும் இந்த மண்ணின் கலை வளர்ச்சியின் பொக்கிசமாய் நிமிர்ந்து நிற்கும் யாழ்ப்பாண கலாசார நிலையத்தின் திறப்பு விழாவின் மெய்நிகர் மூலமான இன்றைய இந்த நிகழ்வின் தொடர்ச்சியாக அரங்கத்திலே இப்போது விநாயக சுதியுடன் இணைந்திருப்போம்.
वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा. Oh வேலாயுதம் வணங்கும் மாயோ மருகனே கேளாய் என் குறையை கனிவுடனே உடன் கணபதியே கணம் இதுவே கணபதியே
And that was excellent dance performance.
நல்லதெல்லாம் தொடங்கு என்ற எங்களுடைய பிள்ளையார்
Right. That was a dance performance provided or performed by the students of Ramanathan Academy of Fine Arts, University of Jaffna. We have also arranged a virtual tour of the artificial limb fitment camp, which is being held in Jaffna. We will begin the virtual tour with a video that details the camp.
Good afternoon. This is Rajneesh Bagali from Bhagwan Mahavi Viklang Sahayata Samiti, Jaipur Fort, India. We are conducting a camp in Jaffna where we already crossed 200, and within 3-4 days we will do some more patients. And same camp was held in Colombo. There we crossed more than 500 patients were benefited. Previously also we did a camp in Sri Lanka. One was Bovania in 2010 where more than 1,000 patients were benefited, and the same camp was held in 2011 also. And we are doing many overseas camps all over the world. Now Monica will conduct the process part of the workshop. He is a PMO technician. Thank you very much.
I'm Monica from BMVSS Jaipur Food, India. This is the registration counter. It's the second counter. This is the raw material which is used for making the prosthetic limb. It's third counter of Jaipur Food, India. They all are taking the cast of Biloni and Aboni. Biloni, they mark the bony prominence and weight relieving areas. After that, he wrap the POP bandage and he take the cast of Aboni. It's a fourth counter of Jaipur Food. It's a negative cast poured by the POP paste, and it is the positive mold modification and is the Aboni mold modification. It's the fifth counter. After the modification, we make the fabric part. HDP pipe, it's the mother part of the Jaipur Food, India. After covering with the stockinette, we put in the oven. After some time, it melt and we take out and drape on the mold. This is the last stage of the fabrication. This is the sixth counter of the Jaipur Food, India. He aligned the all components and he aligned the socket of the Aboni. These all processes are customized.
My name is Sergeant Ranavira. I am very happy in the leg. The Indian company I like. This is very good in the leg.
இந்தியன் ஜெய்ப்பூர் நிறுவனத்துக்கும் இந்திய அரசாங்கத்திற்கும் இலங்கை அரசாங்கத்திற்கும் எமது மனமார்ந்த நன்றிகளை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கின்றோம்.
We shall now have live scenes from the camp. We shall now have the live scenes from the camp. The camp is supported by Government of India and conducted by Bhagwan Mahavir Viklan Sahayata Samiti, which is also the world's largest organization for the differently abled in terms of fitment of artificial limbs and other related aids. The artificial limb fitment camp in Jaffna follows a similar Government of India supported camp in Gampaha, organized in partnership with Ranaviru Seva Authority. And this camp, which primarily catered to Sri Lanka Armed Services personnel, provided various services such as the Jaipur foot to more than 500 persons with locomotor disabilities. The camp in Jaffna has so far covered around 200 persons. Government of India had organized similar camps earlier as well. The two camps held in 2010 and 2011 jointly catered to more than 2,500 persons. We express our sincere gratitude to the Government of India for carrying out these people-oriented initiatives. We have now come to the close of the virtual tour and this memorable occasion. Today we stand out as a shining, bright chapter in the history of India-Sri Lanka relations. A day that underlines the centrality of a people-to-people bonds in this special relationship. I thank Honorable External Affairs Minister of India, Dr. S. Jaishankar, High Commissioner of India, Gopal Bagle, and the entire Indian delegation for their participation at this ceremony on behalf of His Excellency Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa. I also place on record our sincere gratitude to High Commission of India, dignitaries and guests in Jaffna, officials and all others who contributed towards the success of this event. Thank you very much. Stuti, Aibowan, Vanakkam, Dhanyawad.
ශ්‍රී ලංකාවත් ඉන්දියාවත් සැමදා මිත්‍රත්වයෙන් පසු වුණු රටවල් දෙකක්. මේ නිසාම ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ සංස්කෘතියට ඉන්දියාවේ සංස්කෘතියත් මේ දෙක එකිනෙකට බැඳුණු අංශයන් දෙකක්. ඒ අනුව අද යාපනයේ විවෘතු සංස්කෘතික මධ්‍යස්ථානයෙන් අප රටේ අප දෙරටේ මිත්‍රත්වය තව තවත් තහවුරු වෙමින් ලොවට හඬගා කියු නැතයි අපේක්ෂා කරමින් අරලියගහ මන්දිරයේ සිට අප සමුගන්නවා ඔබ සැමට සුබ දවසක් සුබ අනාගතයක්.